Was Austin the one Coach Stoops was talking about threw mud all over your car on your?
Did he tell that story in there? Oh yeah. We, getting to his grandma and grandpa's house down in Belfry. There's one road that gets kind of narrow down there in the hills, so we had to get off to the side as another car was coming, man. And when he stepped on it, and I know he did it on purpose, he slung some, and we laughed about it. I got a picture where he sprayed my car off too afterwards.
Oh, is that right?
So yeah, he cleaned it off. But I mean, just a great family. I mean, his family. I mean, his mom Sherry and Derek, his dad, sister Paul. I mean, they're just great people, and they've done a great job with Austin, and he's a guy that's going to make the room better. All three of these guys are. All three of these guys are going to come into the offensive line room, and they're going to fit in really well, and they're just going to bring a lot to the table in terms of their energy, and that's what you want. You don't want guys that are sucking the energy out of the guys. It's a grind every day. You're practicing, you're hitting each other, especially for a lineman. You don't get a lot of the, rewards in terms of touchdowns and things like that. So bringing guys in that are going to bring energy to the table, I think it's going to be a good fit.
And Mark said Grandma lit him up.
Yeah, she gave him kind of a hard time for that bowl game. So I don't even know if I can say on air some of the things she was saying, but hey, I like that. Austin's going to be tough because with Grandma being tough like she is, he's got no choice. She's not going to let him come back in the house if he's not tough. So yeah, he did. She got after him a little bit.
Is the goal right now to redshirt the majority of the offensive line class?
That's always kind of been our goal since we've been, recruiting at Kentucky, is to bring them in redshirt, develop. But we've also never told a kid that, hey, I'm not going to give you a chance when you get here as a freshman to compete. You always want them to come in to compete, and if they can help us, they'll help us. I mean, we've proven that with Landon, we've proven that with George. If you can come in and you can help us immediately, by all means, we're gonna play you. Okay.
What type of impact do you think the redshirting the guys that think the Drake Jacksons of the world and the Tate Leavitt, like, what type of impact do you think that they can make to the rotation going forward?
I definitely think they can make an impact. I definitely think Tate. The guy that a lot of people don't mention is Luke Fortner, because for whatever reason he may not have been rated as high or whatever coming in last year. I love Luke Fortner. Luke Fortner now, if I'd have known now, I mean, what I knew then, I'd been more fired up then. You know what I mean? Well, I guess if I would have known then what I know now. But I'm really fired up about Luke Fortner. Him, Drake, Tate, all those guys, they're going to push. And they're either going to be in the rotation, or the guys that are in the rotation are going to be much better because they're pushing them. And so I'm excited this spring, to get those guys out there, see what they can do.
Do you recruit any differently since you use this rotation of linemen?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we're still looking for the same type of offensive linemen. So haven't really recruited any differently. Like guys that we feel like have huge upsides that haven't tapped out, that love playing the game. And I think if you look at our last three signing classes, that's what you'll see. You'll see guys that play hard, that are physical, they're big, and they're smart. They do what they're supposed to do too. That's another thing. They're dependable and accountable, and it's something Coach Stoops has obviously harped on since we've been here, is being a dependable, accountable guy, on and off the field, and I think we're hitting up on all those cylinders.
This may be an odd question, but I wonder if your guys take on the fact that the NFL this year, a whole lot of the talk was, look at every good team, they all have in common, it's the offensive line. Every one of them. Even Super Bowl. You guys recognize that and realize the importance of that, and kind of.
I don't know. I don't even know how much NFL they watch, to be honest with you. With the demands that we put on them, with the demands they have in academically, they don't have a whole lot of spare time, and when they do, they usually probably want to decompress and watch some kind of TV show or something like that other than football. So I don't know. I do know the group really has bought in, to raising the standard of play this past season, and I think that showed out on Saturdays.
You mentioned smart earlier. Have to be smart. Is it because the schemes and the way they're trying to confuse what's coming, what's not coming?
Yeah, for sure. And then a lot of times where people line up pre-snap isn't where they end up post-snap. There's a lot of movement with a 3-4 defense, which you're seeing a lot of nowadays. There's a lot of things people can do. Multiple blitzes and things that they can do where guys have to be able to adjust. Guys have to be able to see rotation out of safeties, and they have to make decisions and make calls based on all that stuff. And if a guy's not smart or doesn't love the game and study the game, he's not going to pick up on that stuff. He's not going to pick up on it. So he's going to miss a block or miss a call and end up getting beat. It's going to hurt us. So just trying to really raise that bar too.
Has the rotation that you guys use, has that been used negatively in recruiting at all, or is it? Do you spin it as a positive that you you come here, you're gonna probably get playing time because we have this rotation. I mean, it's a different setup than most teams.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's just something that worked for us this year. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to rotate and do that moving forward. Now we may. We'll see what we'll see how things kind of evolve. I think it shows guys. I know one thing when you're playing that many guys in meetings, in walkthroughs, guys are locked in. The twos aren't back there, not listening or not paying attention because they know they're playing. It's not, well, what if this guy gets hurt? Well, then I go in. It's, I'm going to go in. I better know what to do. So, I feel like it really keeps those guys focused, and it stimulated competition. And competition's a good thing because usually when guys are competing, a little uncomfortable, hey, if I don't produce, coach is going to, put another guy in my place. You're going to play better. And so I think it helped us there too.